All right, welcome to the first of 4 divisional games here on Halloween night. Hopefully it won't be too scary for the teams that lose, and hopefully it'll be a treat for the ones who win. Let's see who's up to some new tricks tonight as we start off in a divisional matchup between the Dusk division, fittingly enough. Favored Funky Kongs and the Blue Babies. Alex and Rishi's two teams clashing for the second time this year. First one was probably the best game of week 1. Went to the Blue Babies, so we'll start with them tonight. 7-6, I believe, or 8-7. One-run comeback at the very, very last seconds. So, looking forward to the rematch for sure. Both these teams have had it pretty rough, and this could be a huge inflection point in their season as we begin All-Star break soon and the push for the playoffs. So the Blue Babies, I think... Let me pull up my stats here so that I'm not talking out my butt to you guys. So we do have the stats available. Blue Babies are in the top 3 for runs scored. They're actually almost doubling up on the Funky Kong's values, 29-16. Funky Kong also one of the worst defenses in the league, just barely edging out my strongest at 32 runs allowed. But the Babies aren't too far behind. Only 5 runs separate them, 27. So 2 defenses that I don't really think have been coming through to start this season. Especially it is an athletic but new sort of meshing outfield for the Wilds versus the rookies who have this, what was a reliable outfield last year that has been sort of disastrous, including that walk-off to that they allowed to the Charwell Chosen that really demoralized them. Of course, a lot of baseball left to be played this season. We're only at the halfway mark. I think they can turn it around. Boo's been pretty good, even with the bat. I want to see a little bit more production out of the two bros. And Bowser Jr., for being a star player, I don't think I've really seen him shine the way that I want to see a lot of star players shine. Some of their new pickups, though, Jesse's been incredible behind the plate, both defensively and offensively. And Dark Bones really trying his best after getting separated from Blue Dry Bones this offseason. Looking at the Wilds, I think Funky Kong pitching is probably the biggest one. We talked about their defense, but at the end of the day, if the pitcher can't force weak contact, that's on them. He has to be able to get balls to his infield and his outfield that they are able to actually play defense on. That said, a little bit of run support could be nice. I believe the only game they won this year, he hit the pivotal run, pivotal home run. So Diddy Kong really needs some redemption. We're looking at Julia in second base constantly, basically, seeing when the wheels will fall off. But so far, she's been a great defensive second baseman. And I think Pink Yoshi especially, he hits at a pretty pivotal part of this lineup, the 8-hole. If he can, get on base, he's pretty fast. Julia's a good hitter. Dixie Kong's a good hitter. That's loaded bases for DK and Funky Kong. I mean, this could be an explosive lineup. We're just waiting to sort of see it all come together. DK really wants to prove himself after leaving the strongest. Not used to losing just yet, and hopefully he won't have to be. Star players for this match, I mentioned Bowser Jr. on this side. Of course, it's Funky Kong on the other side. We'll probably see both of them on the mound at some point unless Boo throws an absolute gem here. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay. Now let's see. All right. For the first time today, Dixie Kong gets a redemption. Ball 1 in to start off. We'll see if it stays the same. I'm always curious of this. I've never loaded the same one twice, and I guess it isn't the same as, instead of grounding out up the middle this time, still an out as she flies out to second base regardless. Yeah, it's a little choppy. I wonder what's doing that. Strike 1 into DK. Now hard hit down the left field line, almost over Darkbone's head, but he's able to backpedal and get under that for out number 2 of the inning. Funky Kong up, 2 outs, none on base. And that's ball 1. Ground ball up the middle. Item interrupted by the boomerang toss from Boomerang Bro. Great defensive play. 1-2-3 inning. Good start for Boo and the rookies. And now Bowser Jr. gets to come up to bat first for the rookies. Bottom of the first. Now Funky Kong's going to be a big focus. And this is exactly why, as Bowser Jr. gets aboard with a nice little base hit to shallow center field. He had a really rough time last week, especially the second game. Led on the first couple base runners, and it looks like that continues here as, there might be a little bit of trouble in center field. No buddy attack as the Bullet Bill takes out Tiny Kong from left field. That's a single that sends Bowser Jr. to third, and now Jesse batting with 2 on, none out, and a runner just 90 feet away from untying this game in the bottom of the first. She jumps on the first pitch, but Julia with a double play. The catch and toss over to first catches the runner napping. And Jessie's been great all year as she appears in chat here, but she has to be frustrated with that opportunity. Still, not over for her team, but Boo can't get himself some run support early in the game. Swings at the first pitch, flies out to shortstop DK. The game's scoreless going into the top of the second. Still a lot of ball to be played. Don't be discouraged, rookie. You've had a very good season so far. I don't know if you've been able to catch any, Jess, but you've been playing very well. Tiny Kong, not somebody who's had a great season, but she gets aboard here with a nice piece of situational hitting, sends it into left center field, and now Diddy Kong aboard. Notorious for hitting into double plays. You would love to see him get this one out of the infield, especially knowing how talented they are. So he charges up and tries to send it deep. But hooks foul. Actually had a lot of power. Now going to swing for contact, and this is what we were talking about. Tiny Kong got too good of a lead, and that's another double play Diddy Kong's hitting into. He just can't push it out over the infield. So 2 outs for Scooby-Doo. And Scooby-Doo might get a board here as, no! The item in time this time to interrupt the super catch from Boomerang Bro, but Fire Bro's there in time himself to scoop up the potential error, get it over to first, and that's another 1-2-3 inning. Happy Halloween to everybody tuning in. Blue Magic Koopa leading us off with a bewitching hit into left field. Not the fastest runner, and the bomb's not going to encourage him to try and stretch that to a double, but he'll take a long single to start off this game. Now, the interesting thing about this field is that power hitters you think would be worse on this field because of the high walls preventing home runs. But you almost think hitters like, Fire Bro here, you see, if you can push it out to those gaps, since the outfield is so much bigger, it's just harder for these fast outfielders to get there and stop them from rolling to the wall. And even if you're not a fast runner, it's a single for Fire Bro, but once again, runners at the corners, and I don't believe any outs for Funky Kong. He's going to have to pitch his way out of another jam, and he won't be able to do it, as Luffy sends one into shallow right field. Dixie Kong misses a pivotal attack, and now the Chain Chomp's on the loose in right field. Fire Bro's going home. DK has a play at the plate. Safe for Fire Bro, who comes all the way around to first on the double by Luffy to score 2 to break the tie here at the bottom of the second. That Chain Chomp, the home field advantage paying off, and that was a super close play, but they're saying he didn't get the tag. So no outs. That's a 2 RBI double for the King of the Pirates, Monkey D. Luffy. And 2 strikes quickly here to Dark Bones. Star pitching, trying to get the ring out. DK with an amazing sliding grab, and he's going to double up Luffy, getting a lead from second. Couldn't get the play at the plate just a moment ago, but he gets 2 there to unload the bases in a safe way. And now none on, 2 outs. And Koopa still trying to earn some forgiveness for his guffaw, his goof in that game that, as of right now, really defines this rookie season. I don't think they've been a bad team. They've played a lot of great teams, and they've played really close ball against them, but they just haven't been able to get all the way to win, and one of their wins was a last-second come-from-behind victory, so a clean win here would do a lot for team morale. Boo still pitching great going into the top of the third here, and he's going to force weak contact, ground ball to shortstop. Baby DK's retired off that. We got the bottom of the order due up here. Pink Yoshi, then Julia. And Pink Yoshi gets good contact on a first hit. If that one sneaked by Monkey D. Luffy, might have been a double, but not quite good enough contact for that. Still, a 1-out double sends Julia to the plate. Takes strike 1 on the outside. Now jumps on it, sends it to the shortstop Fire Bro. The diving catch means he's not going to have the time to get the double play, but lead runner makes it to second, Julia out at first, and it's 2 outs, runner in scoring position for Dixie Kong. Strike on the inside, counts 0-1. Star pitch now. Good contact. That's going to allow Dixie Kong to reach base. Now, Pink Yoshi trying to be a hero, safe at the plate just in time. I don't know how he knew he had that. The throw from Luffy was quick, but didn't have a lot of power behind it. Jessie, she's great with the tag, but didn't have enough time to collect herself before that run scored. Now 1-2, the lead cut in half, and the potential go-ahead run is a home run hitter. It's DK. Not gonna do it this time, though. Jumps on the first pitch. Maybe a little early. Sends it to the shortstop, and the sides are tired. 1-2, though. Wild's hot on their trail. Rookies looking to increase their lead with the top of the order up. It's Bowser Jr., and Bowser Jr. is going to an early paint pitch, just thinking if he can get aboard, his team can do some damage. This is going to hurt for Baby DK. I don't know if he has the goggles for this. Oh, no! What a play by Baby DK! The quick recovery and the throw out catches Bowser Jr. trying to be greedy going to second. That's an out! And now Julia with a quick throw at second base for the second out of the inning. What a defensive play by the young right fielder. You almost never see those types of pitches fail. That's well played, man. My hat's off to you. Now Jessie batting with 2 outs almost gets that one over her fellow Mii's head, but Julia robs Jessie of what should have been a single probably, and she has looked elite out there at second base. It's the 3-4-5 hitters up for the Wild. Funky Kong, Tiny Kong, Diddy Kong. And Funky Kong, star player, has that high, pop velocity, barrel angle. So if he gets good contact, he's definitely a home run hitter. Not this time, though. It's going to be maybe would have been a double if that pow block had landed, but just unfortunate timing to snipe the bullet bill instead gives Funky Kong a single. They'll check him at first base as Tiny Kong comes to the plate. Got aboard with a single her first time up, and she'll do so again unless... No! Fire Bro breaks the hearts of the honorary captain with the double play. 6-3 on the putout. Now Diddy Kong, no double play opportunity for him, but he would be the final out of the inning here. As the count's 0-1. Now 0-2, falling behind. Strike 3, swing and a miss. Nasty curve on the outside. Probably would have caught the corner, but Diddy Kong was swinging at the instant replay there. 1-2-3, down go the Kongs, and bottom of the fourth, just over halfway through this game, it's pitcher versus pitcher, Funky Kong versus Boo. Chop shot, left center field. Tiny Kong has to get this one off before the chain chomp ruins her. She doesn't, but Boo doesn't have the speed to test Dixie Kong's arm. Stays at first. Blue Magic Koopa now up. Strike 1 inside of the plate. Now moving to the outside. Hangs a fastball, but forces weak contact anyways. 4-6-3, the double play put out. Julia DK Scooby-Doo, and it's 2 outs, none on. Fire Bro takes strike 1 on the inside, a star pitch. Fastball down the middle. This one actually might be tricky with the fireball, but the scoop and toss from Julia. And that's going to be half a nice play to both her and DK with the slide and fireball cover. In these past few innings, we've seen some nice defense out of both of these teams. I think the next dam to break is going to be very, very pivotal. These two pitchers I don't think could be any different. Funky Kong, very much a fastball pitcher, but also way more known for his hitting prowess and his stamina, I would say. Whereas Boo's doing this all without star power, but has the curves, has the fastballs when he needs it, the star pitches, very, very talented. But if you can hit him, it can get messy fast. Luckily, with an infield defense like this, Fire Bro with a great arm to nab Baby DK at first. 2 outs already. Pink Yoshi. Now up. And hits one to Fire Bro, who nabs it on the hop. 1-2. The score hasn't changed since the third. We're now into the bottom of the fifth. Monkey D. Luffy, Dark Bones, Red Koopa due up. Bottom of the order. Strike 1 on the inside. Perfect contact on that. Smacks a base hit up the middle. Fireball won't allow him to advance any further as Dixie Kong holds on to that one, so it'll be runner on first, and the sacrifice bun is being shown by Dark Bones. Excellent contact. Are the Bananas down in time? No. Bananas won't interrupt the play at first, but the runner does advance to second with now runner in scoring position. Koopa batting. Bowser Jr. up after him, and that's a huge single by Koopa. Luffy plays that one safe and ends up staying at second, but you gotta think the paint swing is coming out here, and Bowser Jr. is gonna try and send these guys home for some insurance. An exhausted Funky Kong now is gonna pitch to Bowser Jr. Instead, just swings normally on it, makes good contact, sends that out to left center. Buddy toss isn't in, or sorry, excuse me, right center. Buddy attack and toss is not in time, so there's no play at the plate. Luffy scores to increase the lead to 3-1. And Bowser Jr. gets it done without exhausting any star pitches and sends Funky Kong packing, as they don't want the tired pitcher pitching to Boomerang Bro. They'll go to DK, starting pitcher for the strongest last year. Hasn't seen a lot of action this year. They've gone to Diddy Kong instead. He comes in and immediately forces the double play. Soft hit ball to second base. 3-6. Funky Kong with the final out of the inning at shortstop now. Still just 2 runs separating these teams. 9-1-2 hitters. First up, Julia. 2 of the best defensive rookie me's this year. Or not rookie, but I guess new acquisitions for their team. They have been excellent, though. I want to see one of them get it done with the bat, but so far, if none of them do, it's Jesse that comes out on top. It's Julia, hard hit ball down the left field line on the first swing, but a line out to second base ends her at bat, and now 1 out for Dixie Kong in the top of the order for the Wild. Softly hit to shortstop for the second out of the inning. That will bring up DK, now pitching for the Wild, but might be the final at-bat this inning. Change up from Boo, and it catches DK off speed. That's strike 2. Probably was his best look he was going to get at it. Now swings for contact, but manages to get aboard. So now 2 outs, 1 on. Tying run at the plate is Funky Kong, the honorary captain, and he hits one deep and hard. Luffy and Darkbones are going to have an attempt. It's over Luffy's head. This game's tied. 2-run home run to the deep left field wall. They had the timing, but Funky Kong put that one on a plateau. You need a gondola to go get that one. 3-3 the score as DK and Funky Kong come around to score. And once again, it's Funky Kong doing it himself when he doesn't have run support. Now both starting pitchers out of the game as Boo heads to first base and Bowser Jr. takes over. It's both captains on the mound. And now you look back at that 2-out single from DK and think, what a piece of situational hitting, just trusting your captain to get it done. That might be the only home run of the game, and man, right now it's a big one. A bobble from Fire Bro sends that ball into left field. Shell interrupts Darkbones, but won't allow an extra base. That's a single for Tiny Kong. Perhaps error assisted. And that brings up Diddy Kong. 2 outs, 1 on first. The tying run. Paint pitch. Swing and a hit. Diddy Kong's aboard with a single. Huge part of the order there. That brings up Scooby-Doo. Runner in scoring position on second. Would put his team ahead for the first time in the ballgame. And he sends one down the right field line. That one makes it to the wall over Koopa's head. Power block's not in time to interrupt the throw, but there's no play at the plate. Runners on the corners. The Wild have the lead 4-2-3. And wow. I said it was going, whoever broke the dam first was going to probably be the one to take this game, and forcing Boo out of this game. This team had a plan. Now taking the lead after scoring 3 runs in an inning, and they might not be done. Diddy Kong 90 feet away. Bowser Jr. goes to the paint pitch against Baby DK. That's strike 2. Change up. Swing, bad contact, but it's past Fire Bro. He doesn't have the speed. 5-3 now, a 2-run lead for the Wild. As Diddy Kong comes around to score on that nice single between the third baseman and the shortstop for Baby DK. A lot of players that I don't believe had hits today, that when their team needed them most, they came through. Speaking of, Pink Yoshi, not going to be the case for him, as he's out at first on the long throw and nice catch for Magic Koopa. Finally, the side's retired, but Bowser Jr. is not happy with himself. He comes in to preserve the lead, instead gives up 4. And now his rookies have just 2 innings to find 2 more runs and tie this game back up. First up, it's Jessie. The new catcher, the new star catcher for the rookies, showing why she's a star with a leadoff base hit when her team needs momentum most. Now it's Boo. First off the mound, will be credited with the loss. Can he earn some runs for his team? No! A double play. That quickly brings up Magikoopa, and DK pitching with a lead is fearsome. He can use the whole strike zone. He can go all out, knowing that his defense is behind him. Which is why it's so important that Magikoopa found a good hit there. Still only down 2. It was a 2-out home run that put his team back on top for DK. And now he's pitching to Firebro, who looks to do the same. Or sorry, the home run tied them, but it would do the same. And Firebro might have done just that. Sends one out to right field. There might not be an attempt on this. Fading at the wall. Off the high thwomp. Blue Magikoopa is coming in to score. Play at the plate. Not in time. 5-4. Firebro reaches second. This game's once again back within 1. And the rookies are rallying here in the bottom of the 6th. Maybe a little better contact, and that one's out of the park. Instead, he'll settle for the RBI double and brings up Monkey D. Luffy, who had a huge hit earlier. Won't do so here as he grounds out to Julia. Strands the runner in scoring position, but brings this game back within 1 for the rookies. Bowser Jr., toughest bit of pitching he'll have to do maybe this year to avoid an upset. The 9-1-2 hitters. First up, Julia. He goes right to the paint pitch, digs into his bag. Strike 1, swinging miss for Julia. Outside of the plate, she moves back inside. Another swinging miss, strike 2 on a paint pitch. Bowser Jr. is going all out. Curveball, leaves it hanging. Boomerang Bro's there with the grab. Is the throw in time? Yes! Out at first. Bowser Jr. exhausted himself that at-bat with all the arm movement required for those paint pitches. He goes back to it against Dixie Kong. Strike 1. You gotta think they're gonna go to Magikoopa for DK. Dixie Kong robbed of a base hit into right field by Boomerang Bro. And that's exactly what they'll do, as Bowser Jr.'s day is done. And they go to Magikoopa for potentially the final out of the game for the Wilds. Strike 1. Strike 2 is going to be fouled off, as that's a hanging curveball, just no movement. So you need to go to your gas here, and he goes to the star pitch, hangs it over the middle, and that's to deep center field. Is that gone? Koopa's in time. It's an attempt. Luffy's there. Keeps the game within 1. A stretching grab up the center field wall. The assist by Red Koopa, who got there seconds, maybe fractions of a second, before he was due. And he stops this from getting any worse due to 2-out home runs. A scoreless top of the 7th. Now the rookies. 8-9-1 hitters coming up. Trying to at least tie this, or risk falling to 2-4. And Dark Bones with a hard hit ball down the left field line. Drifting foul at the last second. Would have tied it, man. Now a barrel pitch by DK. Hard hit though by Dark Bones again. That one might get pushed to the wall. Let's see. No, fading at the warning track. Shell not in time, and Tiny Kong tanks it anyways. First out. Now Koopa. Strike 1. Well hit over Julia's head into center field. Tying run is aboard at first for Bowser Jr. Full star pitch salvo available to him. Doesn't go to it again, and that one's over Funky Kong at shortstop. Another single. And now the winning run is at first. Tying run in scoring position, just 1 out. And Boomerang Bro is up at the plate. DK's not tired. They'll let him work against him. Strike 1 in on the outside. Boomerang Bro crowds the plate. DK positions in. Goes to barrel. Good contact, but down the first base line. Flies out to Scooby-Doo, who Sliding backwards, tags first base plate, and the game's over. A rare double play by Boomerang Bro. And 5-4, the Funky Fresh Kongs have their second win of the year. Not only against the team that upset them in the first game of the year, but right when they needed it most for the playoff race. Wow. Funky Kong, well deserving of that after the tying home run. Let's take a look at the rest of them. Very low scores, surprisingly. Not a lot of action for a game that was pretty high scoring. Julia didn't get a lot done with the bat today, but had a pretty good day in the field. Scooby-Doo, huge plays there. And I'll give Baby DK with a huge play, I think. Would have been MVP. Luffy and Bowser Jr. both had a day. But one that won't be remembered. As both teams advance or fall to 2-4. This race is heating up.